This is the sixth module of SQL Server learning series, and in this video we will see the demo of the execution plan. We will execute the query and we will study the query execution plan for this query. And we know that there are the two kinds of execution plan. One is the estimated execution plan and the other one is the actual execution plan. Estimated execution plan is generated before running the query, and for the estimated execution plan, no need of the actual data and no need to consider the resources. So estimated execution plan is generated on the base of the statistics. If the statistics are accurate, then the more accurate estimated execution plan will be generated. So we will generate the estimated execution plan in the query analyzer by using the shortcut key Control L, or we can write the command set show plan underscore all on to generate the estimated execution plan. But the actual execution plan is generated only when the query is actually executed. So the actual data and the resource will be considered in the actual execution plan. So actual execution plan can be generated in the query analyzer by the shortcut key Control M, and we can also use this command in query analyzer set statistics underscore profile on. So these plans we will now generate in the query analyzer. This is the query analyzer, and we are using our trading database. And in this trading database, we will execute this query in this query analyzer by using the two tables. We will use the table of employee, which we already created, and we will join this table with another table country, and we will retrieve the data for the employee, employee ID, employee name, and the country name of the employee. So we will first generate the estimated execution plan for this query. So to generate the estimated execution plan, we can use the Control L shortcut key, or we can use here in this icon. If we will press this icon, it will generate the estimated execution plan. So estimated execution plan is generated without executing the query. The optimizer takes the this estimated execution plan values from the statistics. So this is the estimated plan. These are the operators used in this query to generate the estimated plan. And here this is the, if we will study the this first operator, because when we will study this query execution plan, we have to go from the right to left. And if we will see this most right operator, which is the cluster index scan, and if we will study the detail of this operator, we can see here the lot of information is there. There are physical operation and logical operations. The logical operation is a operation which build a conceptual plan. Like inner join is the example of a logical operator, and the physical operator is the operator which is used to implement the conceptual plan generated by the logical operators. The inner join is the logical operator. To implement the inner join, the SQL server will use the nested loops or the merge join. These nested loops, which will be used to implement the conceptual logic of the inner join, this is known as the physical operator. So there are the here in this operator, the logical operator is the cluster index scan, and the physical operator is also the cluster index scan, and this one is the estimated execution mode. The mode is the row. It can be a row, it can be a batch, and the storage. This storage mean how the SQL server will store the results of the query generated by this query plan. The result will be generated and how the SQL Server will store. Either it will be the row store or is the batch store. Here is it the row store. And in this estimated execution plan, this is the estimated input output cost. This is the relative cost which will show us how much this operator is costly. If the more cost, the more input output intensive operation is this. So this is the estimated operator cost. Estimated operator cost is the cost of the input output cost plus CPU cost. And the estimated number of rows will give us the values of how much rows will be retrieved by executing this operator. And also it will give us the row size, mean the what is the size of this rows in bytes. The rows is collection of the columns, and that what is the total size of this row. Here it's showing that this is the size of the 269 byte. And the ordered mean the result which this operator will generate is this is the ordered query or not. So these are the information we can get by examining this operator. And if we will generate the actual execution plan for the same query, we have to use the this icon, or we can press the controller. So let's see the actual execution plan for this query. Now we have selected, and before when we pressed this one, and the estimated plan was generated, but now I pressed it's not generated, because the actual execution plan we need to execute the query first. The query will be executed, then the plan will be generated. So now I will see the actual execution plan. This is the actual execution plan, and it's almost is the looks same. And if we will study these operators, and we know that the data in this execution plan flows from right to left and from top to bottom. So the first operator is the cluster index scan. And the cluster index scan, if we will study the here is the physical operation is cluster index scan, logical operation is also cluster index scan, and the estimated execution mode is the row, and the storage is also the row. And numbers of rows read 295, but the estimated rows we have seen in the estimated execution plan was different than the actual number of rows. And here is also, if we can see on the down, the estimated row is also different than the actual number of rows. If the actual number of rows and the estimated rows are not matching, then it means our statistics are not up to date, or there are some missing statistics. And if we can see, here is some the icon is there, this yellow color triangle is there. This triangle is telling us that the statistics are missing. If we can study this operator's detail, on the bottom we can find the warning. In the warning, it's showing that the column with no statistics, so statistics are missing. So that is why the estimated execution plan rows are different than the actual rows, because estimated execution plan takes the information from the statistics, and the statistics are missing, so it's giving us the wrong information. But the actual rows are 295. And then the data will and after that, this is the arrow. The arrows shows the direction of the data in this execution plan, and the arrows also shows not only the direction but also shows the size of the rows, how much rows will pass from this operator to this operator. So if you will see this arrow, we can see the rows are passing 295. So this also the size of the arrow will also be changes as per the rows. If more rows, it will more thick. And then after, there is then another operator is the sort operator, and this sort operator will take the values from this one, and then it will sort the rows according to the query criteria. and this operator is taking the cost of 23. This cost is the cost in the percentage is the relative cost of the overall execution plan cost. Overall execution plan cost is 100%, and from the 100% this operator is taking 23%. Then this operator passing the value to the sort operator, and the sort operator then doing this sort operation, this order by operation, and it's taking the cost of 32%. So sort is taking more cost, 32% cost. So this operator is little costly operator, and we have to see why this is the costly operator, and we have to rewrite the query. We have to solve this cost problem, and after that this data is flow to the next operator, and here is another table is involved, and data is coming from this country table also, and these the rows from this operator and from this operator are uh, going to this nested loops. So in this operator we can see there are, this is the physical operation. If we will study this nested loop operator, here it's showing physical operation is the nested loop, but the logical operation is the inner join. So in the example of the physical and logical operation, I already explained that the inner join is a logical operation. To implement the inner join, SQL server can use the nested loops. So this operator cost is 1%, which is very reasonable cost, and the last operator is the select operator. Normally in the execution plan, the last operator is the select operator, and its cost is 0. So from the all these operator cost, the select is not taking any cost. So the most costly operator here is this cluster index seek used by the country table. So we have to, if we will solve this operator cost by examining the query, we have to consider this operator and this sort operator to minimize the cost. So this is the query execution plan, and in this query execution plan, as we know, the purpose of the query execution plan is to find out the costly operators and to understand the data flow, that how's the data flowing. Data is flowing from right to left and from top to bottom, and we have to see the is there any blocking operator, but right now is there is no any blocking operator. Sometimes sort is doing the blocking, but here we can see this 295 rows are coming from this operator and passing to the sort, and the sort is giving the 295 rows, so it's not blocking, but sometimes the sort is the blocking operator, and sometimes the nested loop is also blocking. So we have to diagnose the blocking operators from this execution plan, and execution plan is also tell us about the state of the statistics. Like here it's showing us this the statistics are missing, so we have to check why the statistics are missing. Is there any the auto statistics property is off, or something is a problem? We have need to update the statistics. We have to create the statistics so the query execution plan give us the accurate result. The details of the operators used in the query execution plan we can get from the Microsoft websites. All the details and their relative information is available there. So we can get from there.